The gap between rich and poor is extremely significant in Latin America. In Brazil, 10% make up the richest people, who are absorbing more than half of the total GDP, whereas only 0.8% of the total GDP is distributed to the poorest 10%. The citizens are looking for a better quality of life and working conditions. They are unable to escape poverty and corruption and are willing to start over in a new country. This is known as an economic refugee. Many people have migrated to Latin America from Palestine, Africa, and even Europe seeking asylum, especially the southernmost cities of Latin America. The numbers doubled of asylum seekers in Chile and Argentina. Out of the refugees from Latin America, it is estimated that yearly close to 100,000 women and adolescents from these countries are led by deception and false promises of work in the United States, Spain, Holland, Germany, Belgium, Israel, Japan, and other Asian countries. Much of the migration to leave Latin America is illegal. Documents are easy to attain in the black markets. Even some human rights groups are producing temporary credentials in order to avoid the brutalities of the corrupt police force checkpoints in Mexico. There is a lot of travel through Mexico in order to reach the ultimate destinations. Also, there are several ships which transport refugees directly to their desired location. However, the conditions on these illegal ships are very poor, and it is very expensive. Refugees spend all of their life savings in order to afford the possibility of freedom.
In many refugee camps in Latin America, refugees are not given the resources needed to maintain a basic standard of living. They are not provided with basic needs such as food, water, adequate shelter, and health care. Every day is a struggle for those living in refugee camps in Latin America. The government does not have a sufficient number of people to help maintain and operate the camps. As a result, food often arrives late or does not come at all. In addition, shallow sewage drains are often dug by hand alongside the tents. This is extremely bad for the health and sanitation of those living in the camps. They also must learn to live with little privacy since housing materials are limited. This does not make for a safe environment for the women and children who often suffer from sexual abuse and violence. Refugees in Latin America are unfortunately forced to deal with the broken promises of minimal health care, education, and security every day. Beginning in 2007, refugees that previously stayed in Iraq for 4 years were moved to a refugee camp in Brazil by the UNHCR, with priority given to elderly and families with children. Here they were promised accommodation and material assistance for up to 24 months. In return, these refugees received a lack and sometimes total absence of services. Many believe that the conditions in Brazil were worse than the ones they fled in the Jordanian desert in Iraq.